to Astro-tard news for today, and your host is me, Francis Walsh, amateur astronomer. Hey, what's going on? And it appears I did some sniffing, some digging into the news. There's plenty of things to talk about, isn't there? Astronomically, comets. We have quickly C2012 F6 Lemon, a green comet. My friend on Facebook, Rolando Liguistri. Hello, Rolando from Italy. He speaks the Italia. Grazie. He's using telescopes to take beautiful pictures of these comets. And he's got beautiful pictures of this comet right here, C2012 F6 Lemon, and it's green. And somebody says, well, if it's green, then it's cyanide. I don't know if it's cyanide. Myself, I don't know. But I look at the information that we're talking about, and I look at some information and dig it up. JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, jpl.nasa.gov. You can go see what JPL, what they have, their information, their database, their orbital diagrams, horizons, coordinates, astrometry, all that stuff. So I went back and looked at their diagrams. And I'm looking at C2012 F6 Lemon, the Cyanide Asteroid. But I don't know what it's made of, except that in the pictures it's showing up green. Well, ask Rolando. I can go ask Rolando to see what he sees, if he sees green, and why he sees green. But in its orbital path, as it passes by the sun, perihelion occurring somewhere. Right now it's below the ecliptic. It's the southern hemisphere. And that's why they're taking pictures of it probably from the southern hemisphere, Rolando is. And it's coming up and over the ecliptic and moving away from our solar system and past its perihelion. And as it does, it passes in between the orbits of Venus and Earth. And so, as the sun is on one side, the comet's on this side, Earth will pass by. And I'm going to tell you the dates. And I'm just looking at a number of dates. April 10th, 2013, the comet is below the ecliptic, but moving past perihelion and rapidly up and away. And now the tail is blowing away from the comet. I don't know what the closest approach is. I have to go look to see what we have. The ephemeris. Why? Is that necessarily not what I wanted? Close approach data. I haven't been in here for a while, but anyways, I will look for that. But what I'm really talking about is Cyanide Hype, I guess. Cyanide Hype. Hyping a condition created by an object because of limited information. Let's just call it limited information, and that we need to find out more. Do we need to find out more? Sure. I'll be listening to more information, because when somebody says cyanide and I have to go look at the comet passes up, the sun's on this side, it passes in between the Earth and the sun, so the tail is going to be blowing back and away. The orbit splits Venus and Earth. In April was when because February, March, April, boom, it's right near the ecliptic, April 26th. So April 23, 4, 5, 6, and then we go on another 6 days. And then I'll tell you how long it takes for supposedly Earth to pass by now. Now we're going, Earth is coming around its orbit, we're coming around its orbit, going to be somewhere around there. September 3rd, so April, May, June, July, August, September, 6 months later. C2012 F6 Lemon will have passed by perihelion and up and way up, and Earth will 6 months later pass around its regular orbit. But as I get into Astro-tard news, it's right there. And something else, we have ISON, ISON, coming November 2013, considered to be a part of the Great Comet of 1680. So all amateur astronomers will be on alert for visual, even naked eye viewing of this comet when it makes its approach. The limited information I know now about it is a million mile or so closest approach to the sun, which is the reason why it would make it so bright. Very, very interesting indeed. People have been asking me, where are the pictures, where are the images, what's going on. I said, I know what I'm doing. I've always known what I'm doing. You go back to the oldest videos, etc., etc. I'm an active participant in many things. Astronomy is one. And with these news, I hope you get that. Oh, what did the Iranians do today? They sent a monkey to space, and they brought him back. And to be honest with you, I didn't read the article because I really don't appreciate putting animal testing. I mean, we've got 7 billion of us. Whatever. I think we got 7 billion people. Leave the animals alone. On to new news. So, anyways, Iran sent it up, brought it back. North Korea is doing ballistic. They're sending stuff into orbit. That means they're reaching around the globe. Just little hot spots. The news media gives us little hot spots, little information to keep our head working, so that in the event in the future something flares up in that area, we've been informed. That's our information. What else? There was in the this is the one, monkey welcome back to Iran, but U.S. not thrilled by space shot. Yeah, and PETA jumped on board. PETA jumped on board. Said, we're not happy either. Okay, tonight, NASA rocket to spark light show over U.S. East Coast tonight. Date, January 29th, 2013, from space.com. NASA rocket to spark light show over U.S. East Coast tonight. I mean, they've been doing those tests, I don't know if it's the same thing, the sounding rockets off the East Coast to testing the trade winds, high altitude trade winds and atmospheric changes. Here's the story. This is all for research, of course. Space.com, 19521, NASA rocket night sky lights launch.html. NASA will launch a rocket tonight, January 29th, on a mission that promises to put on a spectacular, albeit brief, light show over the U.S. East Coast that may be visible to stargazers along the Atlantic seaboard, weather permitting. Unsuspecting observers of the artificial night sky display may be puzzled and amazed. So before you make that phone call to your local media outlet or police station or MUFON or whatever association you may be associated to, here is why this is happening and when you might see it. The bright phenomenon will be caused by an experiment aboard a NASA sounding rocket. Boom! As part of the mission, the rocket will release a chemical tracer that should create 2 bright red-colored lithium vapor trails in space that may be seen by observers across the mid-Atlantic region and possibly from even further away. The rocket will be fired from NASA's Wallops Island Flight Facility on Virginia's Atlantic coast. Liftoff is slated to occur as early as 5:30 p.m. EST, 22:30 GMT. The suborbital rocket, which can launch high above Earth but not orbit the planet, will be launched tonight to test technology for gathering science data during flight projects. You can watch the launch live on space.com here via webcast that will begin at 4:30 p.m. EST, 21:30 GMT. Let me go ahead and get this. Well, that's the news from them. There's some sounding rockets going off on the East Coast, and again, this is for research purposes. Did I see anything else? Of course, what did I do when I heard something about ISON? I went and looked up Wikipedia, Great Comet of 1680, which was C/1680 V1, also called the Great Comet of 1680, Kirch's Comet and Newton's Comet. has the distinction of being the first comet discovered by telescope. Discovered by Gottfried Kirch on 14 November 1680, New Style, it became one of the brightest comets of the 17th century, reputedly visible even in daytime. So, I mean, this event is astronomically important. It was also noted for a spectacularly long tail, passing only 0.42 AUs from Earth on the 30th of November. It sped around an incredibly close perihelion of 0.0062 AU, 930,000 kilometers, or 580,000 miles. That's 580,000 miles, half of a million miles, which I said earlier that this one is slated to go a million miles around. The 1680 went 580,000 miles. I'm not quite sure how close Comet Lovejoy, the great Comet Lovejoy, went around. And this is a sun grazer. And you know that sun grazers, they dive into the sun. Well, the smaller ones that don't make it around the sun. We would suspect that this comet's going to make it around the sun. It's going to be a great display in the northern hemisphere. I have it pulled up in JPL C/2012 S1 ISON. You know, what I would call an extreme, a sharp orbit. It's coming in. Going to make a close pass to the sun and jet out, be bright, maybe, well, I've read 15 times brighter than the moon, maybe visible during the daylight, going to be fantastic. I know that JPL's data here, like I'm looking at right now, the orbital determination parameters. If you are, or if you have ever spoken to a scientific astronomer who's went ahead and earned a living off astronomy, which isn't me, but an astronomer that I spoke to, makes his living off astronomy, told me, and through my research, I determined how objects are named and when objects are determined to, when they're found. There's been some recent discrepancies, I guess, in the data, or what you see here when you go to JPL against when this comet was introduced to us all. But I think we all have to remember that there's a lot more going on than our eyes are capturing at the moment we're looking. Don't get yourself all in a fluster over something that's been occurring on more than this object again and again, over and over again. The eyes on space, the scientific eyes on space have been going on for decades and decades and decades and decades now, and almost, and if you go all the way back to Galileo, the sky has been peered into over centuries, 6 centuries, coming on 7 centuries of space watching. So the fact that somebody caught this comet before you did, and then you went back and found a hacker backdoor way into some ephemerides, so what? Proves you're a good hacker. Doesn't prove anything's different about this asteroid except how it was named, how it was confirmed, and how long it's been tracked, and how short of a time we've been looking. So consider that. That's me. I don't know why I'm looking at my microphone. I should be looking at you. And that's me. My name is Francis. This is the end of Astro-tard News. We'll talk to you later. You know who you are, don't you?